Nick with Curve Industries. Today we're going to go over how to replace your stock skis with an accurate and predictable set of Curve XS skis, and we're also going to go over the chassis dynamics and how to properly set up your chassis. Because with a set of Curve XS skis you're getting accuracy, you're getting predictability, it's a precisely engineered product. As compared to your stock ski, which is built for every rider out there, you've got your Curve XS ski. It's an aggressive ski, it's built for cornering. You get reduced steering effort with the Curve XS ski, you get increased durability. So with all of those things in mind, we need to make sure that we properly install the skis, which is #1 priority. And #2, we have to make sure the chassis is set up properly. You have to go through and you do the steering alignment, and you also have to go through the chassis setup. We'll go over some of those details, but we're going to start off with just basically changing over from your stock ski to the accurate and predictable Curve XS ski. So what you're going to need is a few basic tools. These same tools will apply to any machine, whether you're riding a Polaris, Skidoo, Arctic Cat, or Yamaha. You want an impact driver or a ratchet. We like to use an impact driver. It's a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. You're going to need a wrench to hold the bolt on the other side. Then you'll need a hammer to tap the bolt through. And also, to get the sled up in the air, makes it easier. If you got a floor jack or anything else you can use your buddy to get the sled up in the air, whatever you want to do. We use a floor jack, makes it a lot easier. One thing to note though, when changing over from your stock ski to our Curve XS ski, the mount kit is specifically designed for your machine. So there's a few things you're going to want to take note of. That mount kit has a spindle grommet, and those spindle grommets can be very stiff. So there's a couple tricks or things that you can do in order to make the installation easier. And what you can do is you can take that spindle grommet and put it in warm water. It's a rubber material, so it'll soften it up a little bit and allow that spindle to work into the spindle grommet. Also, another thing that we do, you'll see later on in the installation video, I'll use a block of wood to install the ski. That also helps with the installation process as well. So now we're going to remove the stock skis so we can put on your new Curve XS skis. So you're going to need your impact driver, wrench, remove the bolt. Swiggle the ski, bolt will pull right out. Set the hardware aside. You won't need it for your new ski. Go over to the other ski, do the same thing. Remove the bolt. The bolt's a little snug. You may have to grab a hammer just to tap it out. And also another thing to note too, on some sleds, you'll actually have a cotter pin. So you have to remove the cotter pin. Now that you have the bolts removed on the stock skis, next thing you're going to want to do is take and get the sled up in the air. You get the sled up in the air, you can remove the stock skis, slide in your Curve XS skis. You're going to want to make sure that the jack's under a secure point on the sled so it's balanced, so the sled's not moving around when you're switching skis over. Now you can just slide the stock skis out. It's always good practice. I just throw the stock hardware back in the skis. You're not going to need it. So whatever you're going to do with your stock skis, sell them, pass them on, whatever it may be. You've got the hardware, just set them aside. Now that your stock skis are removed, we're ready to put the Curve XS skis on. Before we get there, I want to talk about a couple things real quick that we get a lot of questions about. The one thing is the spindle grommet. As you can see, there's a low point and a high point. This high point, and this is the case on all of our spindle grommets, no matter what machine you're on, always goes to the back of the machine. So when you place it into the saddle of your XS skis, you put the high point to the back, this thing's in place. But also another thing I want to make a note of, this is a plastic ski. It's UHMW. It's the most durable material on the market today, and it's made right here in the USA. But one thing that with plastic is it's flexible. So the tolerances in the saddle can vary. So we want you to be aware of when you slide this ski underneath here, there may be a little bit of a gap there. If there is a gap, you just simply tighten up the bolt. That will take up the gap. And your Curve XS mount kit is specifically designed for each machine. As you can see, we have all the parts here for the mount kit, and you'll see later on what we actually use that block of wood for. Now we have the sled up in the air. slide the Curve XS ski underneath the machine. Make sure the sled's up high enough and get the ski in place. With the ski in place, you want to make sure that you line it up with that spindle. Once it's aligned, you can let the weight of the machine down into the saddle. Now that we have that aligned, what I like to do, one little trick that I do, is I'll move the ski and just tip it a little bit. Start the bolt here, line it up, tap it in, and get it started. When you tap it in, make sure you go all the way through till it hits the other side of the saddle. Now that it's all the way through, I'll show you how we use this block of wood in order to get the bolt 100% through. Just slide the block of wood under the inside of the ski, put a little weight down on there, it'll be lined up, tap the bolt through, put the washer on, put the nut on. Now you're ready to install the other side. Now that the left side ski has been installed, we'll move over and install the right side ski. Again, I want to talk about a couple things. I know we brought it up with the other side, but the spindle grommet, very important. The high side to the back. It's the case with every machine. Drop the spindle grommet into the saddle, slide the ski underneath the machine, line it up initially, let the weight down, and as you're letting it down, you can move the ski around in order to get it lined up. It takes a second for it to drop into there. And also, I want you to take a look at this saddle here. On this side, there's a little more space. That's fine. The bushings in the saddle are designed specifically for your sled application. We've done all the work ahead of time to give you a precise fit. So now, we'll let all the weight down onto the saddle, and we can put the bolt through. And the bolt comes with your mount kit, and all mount kits are built specific to the machine. We'll line this up. Another trick you can do here too is just hold the ski, turn the handlebar a little bit, and then you can give the ski a little bit of a tap in order to line it up. We're still out of alignment a little bit. This ski has to go forward a little, so we can come to the front, can pull it forward slightly. Now we're lined up. You can take the bolt with the ski tipped, take the hammer, and pop it through. Even if it's still out of alignment, you can take that handlebar, just hold the handlebar and hold the ski. See how I have my foot on the ski here, other arm on the handlebar? Watch the bolt go right in. Now we've hit the other side of the saddle. We'll grab our block of wood. We discussed this earlier. The block of wood is a little trick that allows us to compress that grommet. And do the same thing here. You can turn the handlebar a little bit, slightly, until we get that lined up. Then we can pop the bolt all the way through. Now with the bolt completely through, put on the washer, put on the nut, grab your impact driver, grab your wrench, and tighten up the assembly. Go to the other side, do the same thing, tighten up the assembly. Both Curve XS skis are installed. Now, your first reaction would be to say, hey, let's go out and ride. But the next thing we want to look at is chassis setup and how to properly set it up.